Dolphins fans, welcome in to this edition of the Dolphins Today mailbag. I am your host, Will Scott, answering your questions live here on our Dolphins Day live show. And if you missed our mailbag, if you were not with us live, we are live every single Thursday at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. So subscribe because we'd love to have you on our award-winning Dolphins mailbag, self-proclaimed award-winning Dolphins mailbags. Again, Thursdays at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. And the best way to know when we go live is by turning on your notifications so you do not miss when we go live and you do not miss a video. Winland Witt, I know she has notifications on. She's a very loyal subscriber saying, do you think it is possible to get both of these linebackers in free agency? The Buffalo linebacker Edwards and Philadelphia's. T.J. Edwards, I'm assuming she's talking, or is it T.J. Edwards? Sure. Yes, T.J. Edwards from Philadelphia and Tremaine Edmunds from Buffalo. I don't think, Wendland, that the Dolphins are going to get both. I think Tremaine Edmunds from Buffalo is more realistic, but I would be happy with just one of those guys. And I do believe the linebacker position is a really big team need for Miami. You have several linebackers, including Landon Roberts, who is a franchise tag candidate. We'll see if he gets tagged here in the next week or two. That might leave for agency. So it's really important to sign some guys. I don't think the Dolphins get both. In terms of percent chance they get both, probably less than 10. Percent chance they get one, probably more than 75%. I do believe Chris Greer will target both of those guys and try to bring one of them in. Skitmaster, what's up? Do you agree with me that Minshew is a must-get? I wouldn't say a must-get, but he is 100% my top choice at the backup quarterback position in free agency, 100%. I'm with you there that Minshew is the best guy to get as the backup. We'll see. Probably wants to be a starter. I'm not sure if there's going to be a starting opportunity for him in free agency, but the Dolphins need to pay him whatever he wants to come in and be the backup because you went 1-4 this season without Tua Tagovailoa. You could not win when Tua was off the field. The only game you won when Tua was off the field, you scored 9 points against the Jets in the regular season finale. So you have to have a quarterback that can come in and win games. Look at what San Francisco did this year. Brock Purdy went, 8-0 to start his NFL career. So you got to address that. You got to address the backup quarterback position, especially to his health concerns. Minshew's my top guy. Cameron Reed, $5 super chat. We appreciate you. Before we do all the offseason things, what would you consider doing to get out of the negative so we can even do anything in the first place? That's a great question. The Dolphins right now are in salary cap hell, as a lot of people would say. But Cameron, I don't think the salary cap's real. I'm one of those people that's like, you get Tyreek Hill to restructure his contract tomorrow, and that would certainly help. You could cut Byron Jones with the post-June 1 designation. That would save nearly $14 million. I'm not too worried about the cap. I think the Dolphins are going to figure it out. But I think you have to move on from Byron Jones. You got to have Tyreek and some of those top dollar guys restructure their deals as well, which I'm sure they would do. D Nice, what's up? I think we should sign Taylor Lewan. Thoughts? Yeah, a lot of Dolphins fans are kind of adding me about this on Twitter. I would be thrilled if we signed Lewan. I just don't know how realistic it is. But Lewan, if you missed it, was cut by the Titans. Ari Mirov tweeting this yesterday. The Titans have informed standout left tackle Taylor Lewan that he is being released per his podcast, Busting with the Boys on Barstool Sports, end of an era in Tennessee. 9 years with the Titans. I mean, he was with Tennessee his entire career up to this point. 11th overall pick in 2014. A 3-time Pro Bowler, 2 All-Pro appearances, 105 games played, 101 starts in his career. So great run for him in Tennessee. A lot of injury issues, though, the past couple of seasons. So he just missed 12 games in years 2 through year 5. But missed 33 games the last 4 seasons. So that's certainly a concern when you're talking about Lewan, his time missed. And the Dolphins already have a couple injury-prone guys along the offensive line. But when you're looking at this offensive line, I just don't know how he would fit because he's never played right tackle. He's only played left tackle in his career. He's not going to have interest in being a backup swing tackle. But if you could somehow convince him to play a right tackle, be like, hey, we're going to give you left tackle money to play right tackle. We have confidence you can learn that position, adjust, adapt to that position quickly. Then I'm all for bringing Taylor Lewan to Miami. I would love it if you could convince him to play right tackle. And guys have made the switch before. It's not unheard of. Do you want to sign Taylor Lewan? S for sign, P for pass, down in the comment section. It is the pinned comment on today's video. So when ad break comes, go down. Let me know what you think. Do you want to sign Taylor Lewan? Brian Gonzalez saying, would you restructure Hill and Chubb's contract? Yeah, I think that you have to restructure at least one of them. Chubb, I mean, he just signed an extension a few months ago, so we'll see if he has any interest in restructuring his contract. I think Bradley Chubb is a team guy. I think Tyreek Hill's a team guy, as we've seen. He's become so diehard Finns. He's become so diehard Miami. You really love to see it. So, yeah, I'm sure both of those guys, Tyreek and Bradley, would be interested in restructuring their deals if it was for the betterment of the team. And I do think to get back in the green when you're talking about salary cap, you're going to have to restructure one of those deals. Joshy, what's up? Can Tua stay healthy this year, and can the defense be top 10 this year? Yes and yes. In order for Tua to stay healthy, he's already taking the right steps. He's learning how to fall correctly. Of course, those concussions he had this year, his head kind of, snapped back. He's going to learn how to fall by taking judo classes every Friday, so he'll be taking judo classes this offseason, which is great. You have to get him offensive line help. Get him a left guard, get him a right tackle, and you are set. In terms of defense being top 10, I can guarantee you, absolutely guarantee you, that the Dolphins will have a top 10 defense this year under Vic Fangio. I will jump in to a ice-cold, freezing pool if we get to next January and the Dolphins do not finish the year with the top 10 defense. I can just about promise you that Miami's going to have a top 10 defense. You might have to write that down, Chugs. I will really do that if the Dolphins don't have a top 10 defense. Alejandro, we appreciate you watching. Do you think we should sign Derek Carr for the backup QB job? No, because Derek Carr is going to be a starting caliber quarterback. He's probably going to make north of $35 million in free agency. I think he's going to the Jets, so get ready to have him as a division rival. When you're talking about more realistic backup options, Gardner Minshew, I'd love. Cooper Rush, I know producer Chugs is a big Cooper Rush fan. Cooper Rush would be awesome in Miami. He did a great job this year for the Cowboys. And when you're looking at backup quarterback options, you have to find somebody who can win as a starter. Cooper Rush went 4-1 this year in Dallas. You can win by taking advantage of this T-shirt combo that's on sale right now. You guys have seen me wearing these T-shirts. I love these two T-shirts. Chatsports.com/Dolphins combo. I got my combo a few months ago. You can get yours as well on sale right now. We've brought them back a long time since we put these on sale, but they're on sale right now. You can go get it. Chatsports.com/Dolphins combo. That link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Chatsports.com/Dolphins combo. William Woodburn, what's up? Which quarterback do you think is going to be the best on the board by the time the Dolphins' third-round pick goes on the clock? It's a great question. I do not think Hendon Hooker is going to be around. I think he's going to New Orleans in the second round, based on what I'm hearing there. Honestly, Jake Hanner from Fresno State, I was really high on him before this season. In fact, I listed him as a top 5 college quarterback before this year. So I was on the Jake Hanner train long before the Senior Bowl. A lot of people are kind of bandwagoners. They watch the Senior Bowl and like, oh, man, Senior Bowl MVP is great. I've known about Jake Hanner for a long time. I followed him for a long time. And Fresno State has produced more solid quarterbacks recently than USC and Ohio State. It sounds crazy, but Derek Carr is pretty good. Yeah, I think the Fresno State pipeline's really interesting. And I think that Jake Hanner is a great talent and would be great to come in and develop as the backup quarterback. That's a great question, William Woodburn. GM Ruiz, as we like to call him here on Dolphins Today. What do you got for me today, John? Signed Dalton Schultz, Mike McGlinchey, Jesse Bates, Jordan Poyer, Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, Trey for Lamar Jackson, Dalvin Cook, Jalen Ramsey, Derrick Henry, signed Tremaine Edmunds, and Levante David. All right, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen here. I don't think they're going to sign Schultz. I think Foster Moreau's the guy to watch for there. I don't think they're going to pay Schultz. They didn't, I don't think they're going to pay money to tight end after Gesicki was underutilized. Mike McGlinchey, yes. I do believe Mike McGlinchey will be a Dolphin. You got to write him a blank check, but get it done. Jesse Bates, no. Jordan Poyer, no. I don't really think you need a safety, a starting safety. At least you need a backup safety. Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, you're not going to get both those guys. I think you might get Jacobs. Trey for Lamar Jackson, not going to happen. I know we talked about the other day the possibility of a Tua for Lamar swap, but I think that's just smoke. Dalvin Cook, maybe. Pretty strong possibility if you swing and miss on some free agents. Jalen Ramsey, also a possibility if he becomes available. It's a big if. Derrick Henry, man, the Derrick Henry trade rumors are really heating up. That would be wild. Tremaine Edmunds, very possible. Levante David, pretty possible. Herman, we appreciate the super thanks. Thank you so much for contributing to the channel. Brother Scott, what are the, back at you, man. You're a bro. Appreciate that. Players you would let go, trade away, and the 4 you would sign or trade for in free agency? That's a great question. So just for you, Herman, just because you super thanks, and we really appreciate that, I put together 4 players that the Dolphins should let go, and 4 players the Dolphins should heavily pursue in free agency or via a trade. Here are the 4 players the Dolphins should let go. Byron Jones is a lock to be let go because you would save over $13 million. You'd get back almost in the green right now if you cut Byron Jones with a post-June 1 designation. Eichenberg, man, I was rooting for him, but he was a disaster at offensive tackle and a disaster at left guard. Ced Wilson, I really like Ced. He was just kind of underutilized. I think he can go somewhere else and thrive. And unlike these 2 guys, I think Ced actually has some trade value. And then Noah Igbenogany, when you're looking at his chances to make this roster next year, I don't think it's great because I think you're going to re-sign Nick Needham. I think you're going to bring in a guy like John Jones in free agency or maybe Greedy Williams. And then Trill Williams is coming back. And obviously, Kader Kohou is going to make this team. So I do not believe Igbo will make the team next year. I might as well let him go now and try to save some money. Players to bring in. Mike McGlinchey, again, write him a blank freaking check to get him to be the right tackle. Josh Jacobs is my number 1 running back target for agency. Just get him or Pollard or Saquon or Sanders, and I'll be happy. One of those 4 guys. Tremaine Edmunds in free agency. I really like that possibility. And then Laramie. And when we're talking about a trade candidate, Laramie Tunsil is the name to watch in Houston. If you swing and miss on McGlinchey, maybe you trade for Laramie Tunsil, convince him to play right tackle. Wouldn't that be interesting? 2 firsts and a second. I still can't believe the Dolphins pulled that off. Chucky, we appreciate you. $10 super chat. Thanks so much. Let's be honest. He says Tua will not last. As per usual, we'll be without a quarterback before half of the season. I do not want to be a pessimist. However, it's our reality. I hope we get a great backup QB. Cheers. Chucky, I understand the concern. I really do. But I do not think you're going to upgrade at the quarterback position this offseason. I just don't. Lamar Jackson, I don't think you have the trade capital to get him. And then Derek Carr's a downgrade. Jimmy Garoppolo's a downgrade. Baker Mayfield's a downgrade. So I do think, though, you're right. It is important to get a really solid backup quarterback. I love Minshew. I love Cooper Rush. I love Taylor Heineke. Taylor Heineke is a gamer. He's a baller. He's a playmaker and a shot caller. Skip Bayless called Tim Tebow 10 years ago. Remember that song, Chucks? So good. Look it up if you haven't seen it. Skip Bayless, Tim Tebow remix. I'm with you, Chucky. Got to get a good backup quarterback in the building. Absolute must. S. Gozer, $5 super chat. We appreciate you. What is your opinion? I love this question. What is your opinion on drafting tackle Cody Mock from North Dakota State in the 3rd round? Chugs, can you be quick here and get I'm going to talk about Mock for a second. Can you get a picture of this guy on screen? Is it possible for you to pull a picture? Cody Mock is one of my favorite NFL draft prospects. Absolutely showed out at the Senior Bowl. Looked fantastic in Senior Bowl practice. Looked great in the game. He's probably going to be a mid to late 2nd round pick. So he might be on the board when the Dolphins select him. And I think there's some versatility there. I think he could play right tackle. I think he could play left guard potentially. I think he'll be a tackle at the next level. Brian Gonzalez in the chat asking, who is Cody Mock? Cody Mock is gaining a lot of momentum on draft boards because of his performance in the Senior Bowl. And we're going to show a picture of him on screen in a second. But the guy just looks like an offensive lineman, quite frankly. And I think this guy might be a Hall of Fame. Oh, here we go. You need to draft this guy, Chris Greer. Please draft Mock. Please draft Mock. Hashtag Mock to Miami. Let's make it happen. Everyone type it down in the comments section. Man, look at this stance. Look at this stance in this picture right here. I love this guy. He's one of my favorite draft prospects. To be honest, I don't know if he's going to be on the board when the Dolphins select in the 2nd round. But he's a name to watch out for at the Combine. I'm really excited to watch him at the Combine. The Combine is next week, starts on Thursday. We're going to be doing a Combine video, players to watch the Combine. He's going to be featured on that list. We have W_LLD45. We appreciate the question. I think we should go all in with Ben Powers. Yeah, I mean, he's a name that I like. Taking a look at his grades here from PFF last year, the Baltimore Ravens guard had a 62.9 overall grade, 86.5 pass blocking grade, a 50.8 run blocking grade. So overall, run block's not good, but what I like about Powers is he's one of the best pass blocking guards in the NFL. And yeah, I would much rather prefer a guy that can run block and pass block, but if you were to tell me right now, Will, you can only have a really good pass blocker, a really good run blocker, what do you think I'm going to say? Based on Tua Tagovailoa's health in his history. You got to take the pass blocker. Who do you want to sign in free agency? Is it Ben Powers? Is it somebody else? Go down in the comments section. Let me know. Who do you want to sign in free agency? Go down in the comments section and let me know. Last question. Harry99 saying, I'm with Willie. I don't think Lewan is realistic. But what about the other guy the Titans cut? Zach Cunningham. That's a really good question. And so when we got that alert yesterday from Sheffield, the Titans cut 4 guys, the name that stood out to me was not Lewan. It was Zach Cunningham, the linebacker who played for the Houston Texans, was fantastic in Houston. Houston surprisingly let him go. He goes to their division rival, Tennessee, and does pretty well with Tennessee. So I like Cunningham. I think you need to add some depth, obviously, to the linebacker position. And because he got cut, he's good to sign right now. So you could sign him right now before free agency opens in a couple weeks. And looking at this Dolphins linebacker room, Roberts is a free agent. AVG, Duke Riley, Aguavin, Ingram. I mean, you have 5 linebackers that all played a lot last year. They're free agents. So I think you have to address the linebacker position pretty early on. You can address it right now by signing Cunningham, who, you could start him. You could, play him as a key bench guy. I mean, they have some options there. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Again, free agency coming up in a couple weeks. We are going to have you guys covered with all free agent targets and draft targets as well. Combine video coming out in a few days.